The voice of Austin, KAZI Radio 88.7 FM. My name, I forgot to tell you that my name is Kenneth Thompson. I'm your host this morning on Wonderful Wednesdays. You know what? And you know what I say? I can't get you to hell, nor can I get you to heaven. I can just tell you, tune to 88.7. The voice of Austin. With me this morning in the studio is a man, David Breaux. And I'll tell you, I was introduced to you via the Facebook through my friend Martha. Martha, don't run over nobody, and this group called Compassion Cares. I think, what's the name? Is it called Compassion Cares? It's a group here in Austin.
Compassion in Austin.
Compassion in Austin. And I think, that's a pretty interesting thing, man. So, David, when you think about this journey, and all the places you've been, right? What are you drawing from that? What are you drawing from? What's the sense of purpose that you're getting out of this mission?
Another great question. I appreciate it. The purpose is to bring awareness to compassion. One thing that I'm finding is that it's coalescing a lot of different entities that are coming together, finding out that I'm in that community and wanting to get together to do something, both on a level where they're needing to do something in help for the poor, and then also just they're finding that their motivation is similar, so they want to get together and collaborate and do something. That's one of the things I've been saying. And a lot of people are inspired to want to do something, whether it be to start their own Compassionate Cities campaign. When I was in Tampa, that was one of the things, one of the people there, I did a talk, and at the end of the talk, a lot of people signed up, probably about a dozen people who wanted to try to make Tampa one of the Compassionate Cities.
And so for us in the great city of Austin, Texas, we have a lot of shiny buildings. We have a fast track, city. We're moving. We're always in a rush to get to nowhere. All right. How does compassion fit in an environment like that, and how can compassion impact in a community like Austin?
In a fast pace.
Yes, absolutely.
I think one thing that compassion does is that it enables you or makes you slow down a little bit. It makes you listen. I believe that one of the first components of compassion is to actually listen.
I think you told me that last night.
Yeah. and when you slow down, you start to recognize things that you were oblivious to if you're in more of a hurry. And for instance, if you're in your car and you're speeding, you may be oblivious to the speed limit, and you slow down, and if someone cuts you off, you may ask, why did this person cut me off? And the answer is you really don't know. The person may be in a hurry to see his or her, I was going to say his or her newborn, but then I realized it's most likely the man that's needing to go to see the newborn. Instances like that, it may be an emergency for that person. It allows you to slow down and try to understand the world around you.
And so, when I hear you, it sounds as though what we're saying also is compassion is good for the soul.
It is.
And I think last night, the thing that I really was that I left away with when we talk about the oneness, of yourself, and how do you find that, and how do you connect with that, and so as you are doing this tour, right, and folks walk up to you, what are the kind of responses that you get from people,
It varies. A lot of people want to know what I'm doing. A lot of people are interested in what the tour is about. They want to know why I'm doing it. And the answer is always to bring awareness to compassion. Another thing is people want to get involved. People really want to get involved. People are offering help as far as furthering to support the tour, as far as following it on a Facebook group or something like that.
Well, I know I've got hooked up with your Facebook. So, all right. So, what is your schedule for Austin? Where are you going to be hanging out while here in the capital city?
On Martin Luther King, on the holiday, I'll be at a red bench.
Okay. And I'll tell you, we've heard some people heard about the red bench. Yes, that's Okay, all right. And so now in your travels, what has been the most interesting thing that you've come across? And then on the flip side, what has been the most disappointing thing that you've seen?
The most interesting thing is what I mentioned earlier, is what's in people's hearts, is that they want to connect with compassion, that they want something to connect to in their lives. And they want to get over something. They want to get past something that needs some type of alleviation. On the flip side, what I find is in that same sense is that there's this fear to take those steps.
Okay.
And I think that's why people have come to me on the tour, approached me on the tour, the people that I've got to know on the tour. They need a little encouragement, a little bit of guidance in how to take those initial steps to get where they want to be. And I always encourage people that if they are aware and cognizant of something that it is in their lives that they need to address, and that's half the journey already.
But isn't that, okay, once I get halfway there, what's the next step? I mean, and does it require something internal or an external force to get me there?
Internal, and it takes practice. That's how I started doing this in Davis in 2009, and I always encourage people that if they have a practice, to keep doing it. Take the little baby steps they need to get to where they want to go, and make sure that the thing that they are seeking, know that it's within themselves, first and foremost, and know that it's accessible at all times.
And so I asked this question also in traveling, and when we look at the dynamics of America, race is always one of those constructs that sometimes gets in the way. And so as you have traveled the country in this compassionate mode, what have you discovered about the races? Are there anything unique about the races that look that want something different from compassion?
Yes, I've been on a tour, and one of the things I noticed during what was going on in Ferguson, there was an interview I did then, and there were people that were passionate about sharing. I was doing an interview about compassion as well, and they were passionate about wanting to share how does compassion come into play with what happened in Ferguson.
Okay.
I encouraged an individual that had called in to focus on what he can do in his own community. It was in a different city outside of Ferguson, within himself, within his family, and within his own community. And that, I believe, in essence, that's all we can really do. And then what that does is it expands energetically to reach those that are outside of that circle. And eventually, if one is fortunate enough to be able to travel to these different places, it does have a specific direct effect on that.
You're tuned to The Voice of Austin, KAZI Radio 88.7 FM. Hey, to join the show, 512-836-2887. What say you? And so now, how long, David, do you think you're going to be on this tour? Is this a lifelong journey, or is there a point where this mission stops, or for you?
It's a lifelong endeavor. The actual tour will go through August and September. We have it's planned for a year.
Okay.
Yet there are now subsequent cities that want to get on board on the tail end. So I will continue doing this as long as there's interest in communities to go to.
Well, I tell you what, I find it interesting, and I find that the fact that there's someone out there that want to tap into that word compassion. And I think the way you're trying to do it is out front. This is not like this is in some back room kind of deal. I mean, you're out front, and I think that in itself says that you have some compassion for this thing called this human race, and that seems what drives this whole argument, this whole concept is, hey, how do we make this thing? How do we make ourselves better collectively? And so I applaud you. I think it's something different. You know what I mean? And so I say keep it on. And if there's anything that you would want people to remember or to, is there anywhere around here where you're going to be speaking at other than on the red bench, where perhaps some folks can come and get a little bit more of this, and so here in the capital city?
I will be at the Amala Foundation on Sunday at 7 o'clock.
Okay, and we got, talk to me, caller, talk to us. Are you there? Tell me, we lost. Try me back, 512-836-2887. One more time, try me back. And so you do have some events. Now, are those events that posted on your Facebook page, or they posted on Compassion Austin?
They'll be posted on.
Okay. And those who are friends with me, I'm friends now with David, and so I got compassion all over me, so I feel I got compassion to the left and to the right. In fact, that's what I was going to ask. The next person I'm going to ask after we take this call is compassion a left or a right issue? Come on, talk to me, caller. You hear? Go ahead.